Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Automation, and if you haven't watched the previous episode and you're wondering why I changed my name and what's going on with my channel, go back and watch the first 6 or 7 minutes, which is how long it takes me to explain anything on the previous episode. So I'm not gonna have to explain everything again. So let's get into this. Let's get into our campaign again. Now it is gonna be 1961, and I will 1961, and I will make a new truck altogether. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh, okay, that's also pretty cool. No, but I'm gonna stick with this. Extend this all the way, just like on the original one. I am gonna call this the Buffalo now, because that was a suggested name for it. Okay. Now, of course, the aesthetics are gonna be changed a little bit, but not by too much. However, what we do want is we want this car to... Wait, what? That's cool, we can change the length of these fenders. I never really noticed that before. We want this car to be to have less workout or less work. What am I getting at? Less production units, so it's faster to produce, because the truck did sell pretty well so far. And also we want this this new one to make more torque and also be more reliable than the previous one. Ladder chassis makes for some good loading capacity. We're gonna stick with the McPherson's, I think, and then leaf springs on the rear end. Steel panels. Oh, the tires, like, holy cow. Okay, we're not gonna need tires this wide. As far as looks go, I actually want to try and implement a first version of what is later going to be the signature AMW grille. Because now we've been selling cars for, well, 6 years, and we've built up a solid reputation. Like, our cars are accepted, they're pretty well received, and it's now time to organize ourselves and, you know, build a proper company. What do we have? I want some rectangular lights for this one. Not just to be different from the previous car, which had round ones. Also, just I think they fit better for this car. Like this kind of style, I think it's pretty cool for a truck like this. I'm gonna give this guy some indicators down here with a little bit of chrome over here. Make sure this whole arrangement is not longer than the, or it's just as long, I should say, as the headlight arrangement. So like this. Then some door handles, again pretty simple. Excuse me. Okay. Now what do we do for the taillights? I think we're gonna do something similar to the other cars. And go with 2 red ones and then a yellow one for the indicator, obviously. Actually, this style of taillight wasn't as popular anymore in the 60s, was it? And then again, it's not really the 60s yet. It's only the start of the 60s. It's 1961. So we can be okay with this. Put the number plate down. Excuse me. Put the number plate down here. And then the exhausts are gonna be under this chrome bumper. Good. Now let's repaint it. Something like this, maybe yeah. Okay. River Drive, obviously. A little bit less metallic, a little bit less gloss, a little bit more matte, if you will. That's what this slider does. So, remember the first concept car we did, the 4-door that was then turned into the Sandra? It had push rods. So we know how to build push rods. And here's where it kicks in, because we want this car to have less production units, which push rods offer in comparison to door overhead cams. Also, more torque is what we're gonna achieve by making a big block out of this. Let's go up to like 104 bore and then increase this until we reach, make this a little bit bigger maybe, until we reach 7.5 liters. Don't get too bent about don't get too bent out of shape about the capacity, guys, because it's 1961, so muscle cars are coming soon. So yeah. Cast iron crank. Now we probably need the forged crank, because this car is gonna make a bunch of torque. Forged and then forged. We need these internals. We just do in order to take all the torque. Now the cam profile is gonna be so low. In order to make all the torque in the low RPM, like in the lower rev range. Gonna give this guy a 6-pack just as before. Or should we even do this? I think this is the better option of the two. The 4-barrel carburetor with twin carburetors. No performance intake, don't be silly, it's a truck. 92 octane fuel, I think. The fuel economy isn't all that important on a car like this, and the rev limit is gonna be like, fuck it, let's do like 3500 RPM rev limit. Short cast headers, not gonna make a lot of power, so let's keep this like down here. 2 rear rough sort of flow mufflers, 238 horsepower actually. It's more than I expected. 250 even. Yeah. Pretty nice. We got a little bit of valve float even at the 3500 RPM rev limit. That's ridiculous. But overall actually the reliability is not that good. 39.4. Fuck it, why don't we go down to 3000? Well, the reliability didn't really go up because of this. But look at that torque curve. You get how much? 545 Newton meters right at 1000 RPM. That's more than the old engine ever made. So we got 92 octane as our limit. Wait. Okay. There we go. 608 Newton meters. 237 horsepower. That's quite a lot. The fuel economy is, you know, not a concern, and it's also not very good. Also, if you're gonna stress out about the capacity of this engine, like, fuel economy isn't an issue in this. Not only in this car, but also in this era. Like, the fuel crisis is still reasonably far away. Excuse me, 75 kilometers an hour top speed? Who are you kidding? This truck will do 200 kilometers an hour. Okay. Yeah, let's go with the manual locker. I think we've had this on the previous generation as well. Hard long life road tires. Lot of profile. .205 should do the job here. .185s up front. You know what? Let's do wider tires, because we do want this car to be drivable after all. Like, we do want the working man to be able to use this properly. Drum brakes, because we don't have not any other options yet. Oh, look at that, we can have 300mm brakes on this thing. Sure, let's give it an off-road skid rate, because we do not have an SUV in our lineup, so this is kind of, you know, designed for the job, if you will. Not really designed for going off-road, but since we don't have anything else in our lineup that does go off-road, and this has a high ground clearance, like, why not? 3 seats, standard interior and radio. Power steering is gonna be so huge on this car, because being like a very heavy truck, power steering is really gonna help out with the drivability. We're gonna go with progressive springs for better drivability, and then a comfortable setup here. Actually, it's not that heavy. I'm surprised by this. The drivability is 13.9, so why is that? Oh, we get so much understeer. So if we actually increase the rear spring stiffness. And decrease the front spring stiffness. Maybe decrease, yeah, 205s front and rear. That actually helped a lot. Wait, what's our acceleration time with 225s? 9.8 seconds. With 205s, 10.4. That's fine. It will do 200 kilometers now? No, almost. What if we do this? That helps drivability, will not... Wait, what? 138 liters per 100 kilometers? Devs? Devs? This has gotta be a bug. Like 138.5 liters per 100 kilometers. Not even a Bugatti Veyron at full throttle is that thirsty. Like... Let's change this by 1 point. It got worse! What the hell is happening? 138 liters per 100 kilometers. You've gotta be kidding me. Oh, thank God. But man, like that fuel economy. What is even going on? What if we do this? Yeah, then it's back. Why can I not gear the first gear to 100 kilometers an hour without making the fuel economy absolutely ridiculous? Yeah, well, okay. Let's run it down the quarter mile. Actually, I think 4 gears would be better for this car. Yeah, the drivability was basically the same as before, but now the overall acceleration and just usability of this engine is gonna be much better. Okay, 17.45 seconds is, you know, for a big truck of the early 60s, it's not that terrible. So the engine is gonna be 1961 OHV 7.5. I write 7.5 to the engine family name as well, because so I know the maximum displacement for it. 7.5 liter detune. But man, that fuel economy, I can kind of imagine where they're coming from on this, because if you do have an acceleration time that's as bad as this, and you go to do it in first gear, think about the time it takes to actually reach 100 kilometers an hour in that first gear. And no matter where you're going, through town, on some freeway, you're always only gonna use first gear. And that's kind of like, at least I think that's how the game calculates this value. But yeah, let's go back to where we were and do this again. Alrighty, so I can kind of understand it, but at the same time it's like ridiculous. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.